Okay, so you ever had this happen? You start speaking English, you've got the perfect thought, like totally ready to go, and then suddenly your brain just stops, goes blank.
Oh, absolutely. That feeling where the word is right there on the tip of your tongue, but it's gone.
Yeah. It's like loading, please wait, inside your own head. And it's maddening, right?
Yeah.
'Cause you know the word, you learned it.
Exactly. And that frustration, it's so common. But here's the first thing I really want to get across. If this happens to you, your brain isn't broken.
Right. It doesn't mean you're bad at English.
Not at all. It's actually about how memory works, especially when you're juggling languages. It's a mechanism thing.
Okay, so that's what we're diving into today. We want to unpack why that mental buffering happens. It's got nothing to do with how smart you are or, how hard you study.
Precisely. And more importantly, we've got 5 really practical fixes, things you can actually do.
Yeah, the goal here is to help you move past that kind of frustrating internal word search. Help you get to what we're calling Fluent English 2.0.
I like that, Fluent English 2.0. It's not about stuffing more words in, it's about accessing the ones you already have, quickly, easily.
Getting out of the waiting room, basically.
Exactly. So, welcome to this deep dive, and welcome to you listening in if you're ready to kind of make that shift. Okay, let's unpack this.
So first things first, we really need to tackle that feeling, that assumption, that when a word just vanishes, it means you're, fundamentally flawed at English.
Yeah, that's such a common trap, and it's false, plain and simple. The word isn't truly forgotten. It's more about retrieval.
Okay, retrieval. So it's an access issue.
Pretty much. See, your brain has different ways of storing information. We need to talk about 2 key types of memory storage here.
Okay.
There's passive memory, that word you learned last week. It's sitting comfortably in your passive memory.
Right. So passive memory means if I read the word or hear someone say it, I go, yeah, I know that word.
Exactly. You recognize it. It's stored. Think of it like a huge library of files on your computer's hard drive. They're saved, they exist.
But they're just sitting there in the archive.
Precisely. But speaking, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
When you need to use the word, speak it out loud, your brain has to do something much more active.
It has to find the file, open it fast, and then, connect it to your mouth.
You got it. It has to pull that word into your active memory. And that retrieval process, that pathway from passive storage to active use, that's the bit that needs practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the word didn't vanish, just the path to get it isn't well-worn enough yet. It needs more, what did our source call it? Access.
Access practice, that's the key phrase. It's like, imagine your keys are somewhere in a really messy drawer. You know they're in there somewhere.
Yeah. Don't worry.
But finding them when you're rushing out the door, that's the hard part. The retrieval is slow, inefficient. Same with words. They're in the drawer, but you haven't practiced grabbing them quickly.
Okay, that actually makes me feel a lot better.
Yes.
It's not that I forgot it. My brain just needs more practice pulling it out faster.
That's the core takeaway. You don't forget the words. You just need to train your brain to access them on demand.
So if it's about access practice, how does that actually work? How do we start building that word muscle?
Well, that leads perfectly into our first couple of fixes, and the first one is maybe the simplest, but super effective.
Okay, I'm ready.
Speak more.
Even if it's just to yourself.
Just talk out loud to nobody.
Yep, narrate your life. Seriously, when you're doing everyday things, describe them out loud in English.
Like, I am now making coffee. This coffee smells good. That kind of thing.
Exactly that kind of thing. I'm slicing this bread. I need to find a sharper knife. Wonder what's on TV later. Whatever pops into your head.
It feels a bit awkward maybe at first.
It might. But think about the why. Every time you say a word out loud, you force your brain to go through that whole retrieval process. Find the word, activate it, coordinate your mouth.
You're basically doing reps, like at the gym, but for words. That's a perfect analogy. You're strengthening those neural pathways, those word muscles. With every repetition, you're forcing the brain to practice the speed of access.
Moving it from that dusty archive, the passive memory.
Straight into your active, ready-to-use toolkit is probably the quickest way to start feeling that difference.
Okay, daily habit. Narrate my actions.
Got it. Now, tip 2, you said, was a game changer.
Yes, this one really shifts how you should approach learning vocabulary itself. The advice is, stop focusing so much on single, isolated words.
Wait, stop learning vocabulary.
No, not stop learning vocab, but change how you learn it. Focus on learning full phrases, or what linguists call chunks.
Chunks, like groups of words that naturally go together.
Exactly. This is huge because it dramatically reduces the mental effort when you speak, what we call the cognitive load.
Cognitive load, meaning how much brain power it takes. Right. If you only learn individual words, like decision, then when you want to speak, your brain has to frantically search, okay, what verb goes with decision? Is it make, take, do? Then it has to put it together grammatically, all in real time.
Which is stressful and slow.
Very. But if you learn the whole chunk, make a decision, your brain just pulls out that one prepackaged unit. Boom, done.
Ah, I see. So instead of just learning, say, the word tired,
you learn phrases like, I'm feeling really tired, or I'm completely wiped out, or I could really use a nap. You learn the whole natural phrase.
it's like grabbing a whole outfit from the closet instead of searching for matching socks, then a shirt, then pants.
That's exactly it. You save so much mental assembly time. You're learning the language the way native speakers actually store and use it in these ready-made chunks.
That sounds way more efficient. So less searching, more speaking.
Precisely. Now, moving on to tip number 3. This taps into how our brains love to remember things visually and emotionally.
Okay, so not just words and phrases, but pictures, feelings.
Yes. Connect the words you learn with really strong images or even powerful emotions or sensations.
Why does that work better?
Because our brains aren't really designed for abstract lists. They're wired for stories, for senses, for experiences. If you link a word to something vivid, it sticks way better. It's not just data anymore. It's got context.
So give me an example, like the word rain.
Okay, yeah, rain. Don't just memorize the definition. Instead, really vividly imagine yourself caught in a downpour. Feel the cold drops. Maybe you're laughing, you're running for shelter. Hear the sound it makes.
You attach the whole sensory experience to the word.
Exactly. Or a word like delicious. Don't just learn it means tastes good. Think about the actual taste and smell of your favorite food, that feeling of satisfaction when you take the first bite. Link it to that feeling.
So you're creating like a MIDI movie or a strong feeling associated with the word.
You are, and that makes the retrieval pathway much stronger and more, well, permanent. Picture it, feel it, and your brain holds onto it.
Okay, that makes sense. Visuals and emotions. What's tip 4?
Tip 4 is crucial, and maybe a bit challenging for some. You have to practice in real conversations. Or at least situations that feel real.
So talking to myself is good for RIMPs, but it's not the same as talking to, well, another person.
Right, because real conversations add elements you can't get otherwise. There's time pressure, right? You have to respond relatively quickly.
Yeah, you can't just pause for 30 seconds while you search for a word.
Exactly. And there's unpredictability. You don't know what the other person is going to say. You have to listen, process, and retrieve words all at once.
That pressure, that speed, that's what really forces words from passive to active memory.
It's the ultimate training ground. It forces your brain to get faster and more efficient at retrieval under pressure. That's where the real fluency gains happen.
But what if you don't have people to talk to easily?
Good question. It doesn't mean you have to, move abroad tomorrow. There are tons of options now. Join an online language exchange group. Find a conversation partner online.
Or even just like commit to commenting in English on videos you watch.
Absolutely. Or here's a fun one from the source material. Practice talking to your reflection in the mirror. Pretend you're giving a short talk, like an English TED Talk, about something you're interested in.
Okay, talking to the mirror. It sounds funny, but I guess it simulates having an audience. That's slight pressure.
It does. The key is creating situations where you use the language actively, ideally with some time constraint, not just passively reviewing it.
Okay, real conversations or realistic simulations.
Got it.
Now that brings us to the 5th tip. You said this one was maybe the most crucial.
I think it might be, yes, because it's less about technique and more about mindset. It's this. Stay calm when you forget a word.
Easier said than done sometimes. When your brain goes blank, it's easy to panic.
It really is. But that panic is actually your worst enemy in that moment. When you get stressed or anxious, your brain chemistry literally changes.
How so?
It triggers a mild fight-or-flight response. Your brain thinks there's a threat, so it starts redirecting resources away from complex tasks like language retrieval.
And towards basic survival stuff.
Exactly. So panicking about forgetting a word actually makes it harder for your brain to find the word you're looking for. You're sabotaging yourself.
Wow. Okay. So freaking out guarantees the word stays lost.
Pretty much. The key is to remember the goal. It's communication, not perfection. It's okay if you don't have the exact perfect word.
So what should you do instead of freezing up?
Just keep talking. Use other words to describe what you mean. If you forget the word refrigerator, don't stop.
Just say.
Say, the big box in the kitchen, the one that keeps food cold. Describe it. We call this circumlocution, talking around the word.
Circumlocution. Okay, so describe the thing.
Yes. Native speakers do it all the time when they forget a less common word. The important thing is you keep the conversation flowing. And here's the bonus.
Yeah.
The calmer you manage to stay in that moment of forgetting, the easier it will be for your brain to actually retrieve that word the next time you need it.
Because you're telling your brain, hey, this isn't a scary situation. No need to panic.
Exactly. You're training your brain that searching for a word is a low-stakes, normal thing, so it gets better at it.
That really shifts the perspective, doesn't it? It's not about failure.
Not at all. Look, if you're understanding this deep dive right now, you're already processing thousands of English words successfully.
That's true.
So don't beat yourself up over the one or two words that temporarily hide. Focus on the massive success you're already having.
Think of it less as a brain freeze and more like, a quick system update.
I love that. You're just installing Fluent English 2.0, and sometimes updates need a tiny pause. You're leveling up your access speed.
Making those connections faster.
So if we tie this all together,
Yeah.
the fundamental reason you forget words isn't about memory capacity. It's about retrieval practice,
Okay.
accessing them quickly.
Right. Lack of efficient retrieval practice.
And the solutions are all about forcing that retrieval, making it faster, and doing it in a low-stress way.
So the 5 fixes again were 1, talk to yourself out loud, narrate your day.
2, learn vocabulary in chunks, in phrases, not isolated words.
3, connect words to strong visuals and emotions. Make them stick.
4, practice in real conversations or simulations to handle speed and pressure.
And 5, maybe the hardest, but most important. Stay calm when you forget. Use circumlocution. Don't panic.
Perfect summary. And the idea now is for you, listening, to actually put this into action.
Yeah, knowledge is great, but action is where the change happens. So here's a simple challenge for you today. Just pick one. Pick one of these 5 tips.
Just one. Maybe it's narrating your commute home today.
Or maybe tonight you look up 5 phrases related to your hobby instead of 5 single words.
Or try that mirror TED Talk for 2 minutes.
Whatever it is, just pick one and actually do it today. Start building that access practice muscle right now.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Since this whole issue boils down to speed of access, speed of retrieval, this raises an important question, doesn't it? How could applying these principles, especially maybe the learn in chunks idea, change how you approach learning other complex things?
Like things outside of English.
Yeah, anything that requires fast recall. Think about studying law or medicine or coding or even history facts. Could focusing on retrieving information quickly and in context, rather than just passively absorbing it, fundamentally change how effectively you learn?
That's really interesting. Thinking about retrieval practice, not just for language, but for learning anything complex.
Something to think about. How can you build active retrieval into more areas of your learning?